Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson is going to be entitled Red Pottage.
Yield and tree seed to you, it shall be for me. And then I guess one of the things says food.
It says food, exactly. So this is what Esau had, bro. Pottage, man. Red lentils. Red lentils, man.
Go back to that for me.
Yeah. You got the simple people out there be like, see, you're not supposed to be eating meat.
Hey, exactly.
Salakia, can I say this too, bro?
Go ahead.
What we know about Esau and how he's a liar, he's the devil,
God.
and he does everything. We know that. We're not changing that. We're just letting you know what meat means.
Exactly. We're just letting you know Esau didn't eat raw meat, bro. Our forefather wasn't boiling water and put raw meat in there and start stirring it around looking crazy, bro.
No, man.
He didn't do that, man. Go ahead.
But how you know? Okay? Because if you understand the process of boiling meat, especially when you're making a soup or a stew, which is a pottage, people boil their meat because it makes it more tender for that particular dish. Okay? Genesis (25 and 29). And Jacob sod pottage. Now, the term sod means to boil. B-O-I-L. Pottage is defined as a stew or a soup. Okay? This term pottage it goes back to the origin of pot. What is a pot? A pot is a container. Okay? So when you are about to make your pottage, which is soup or a stew, you get a boiler, which is a container. You place that container on top of a stove and you place your desired ingredients inside of that container, such as vegetables, such as meat, noodles, and any other seasonings that you want to prepare this dish. Okay? So Genesis 25 and 29. And Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Now you have to understand, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, if this was an incorrect breakdown, why now Father is revealing this information? Okay, and look at the spiritual connection, how Esau enjoys red meat or medium rare meat. It only makes sense if you are a spiritual individual. Okay? And I made a point also about boiling your meat, because this chef right here said that our forefather would have looked stupid by doing this. I assume he has been to culinary art school or some shit. How to boil meat. Salakia, how to boil beef to make it tender. My source is livestrong.com. And it states, beef brisket, chuck roast, and shoulder roast are perfect cuts of beef for boiling. When boiled, the tough connective tissues between the muscle fibers break down. This process results in the beef shrinking, tenderizing, and soaking up the flavor of the cooking liquid and any spices included within it. Boiled beef is an ideal Sunday dinner because once cooked, the meat can be reused in any number of individual meals over the course of the week. And right here is just the steps, okay? You take the meat out of the package. Of course, you wash it. You place the meat inside of a pot, okay? You cover the meat with water. Place the covering on top of the pot. And this right here is the end result. Okay?
Read it again for me.
Genesis 25, verse 29.
Read on.
And Jacob sowed pottage,
And Jacob sowed pottage. You was boiling it up, bro.
and Esau came from the field,
Yep.
and he was faint.
Mm-hmm.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
So he said, feed me. He gave it away. He said, feed me with that red pottage. You don't hear meat nowhere, bro. Keep going.
And think about this for a spiritual connection. When has Esau, according to history, okay, and even just a present characteristic, has really enjoyed lentils? Okay, Esau loves red meat. Okay, not to say that he doesn't eat lentils, but that spiritual connection that the Most High has allowed us to understand who this cat is, man, by his association with red meat. Going back also to the complexion of his skin. Okay? I'll rewind this just a little bit.
We didn't do that, man. Go ahead, read it again for me.
Genesis 25, verse 29.
Read on.
And Jacob sowed pottage,
And Jacob sowed pottage. You was boiling it up, bro.
and Esau came from the field,
Yep.
and he was faint.
Mm-hmm.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
So he said, feed me. He gave it away. He said, feed me with that red pottage. You don't hear meat nowhere, bro. Keep...
And that's why you have to examine words. Genesis 25 and 29. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. When you focus on red pottage in the Hebrew, and it's strong H 122, pronounced as Adam. Adam. According to the outline of biblical usage, red, ruddy, of man, horse, heifer. Okay? If you know anything about a heifer, it's a female cow that has not had a calf yet and is cool to eat according to the law. Okay? So not only is this red pottage is describing lentils, but it's describing meat as well, okay? Because a heifer is a female cow. and a female cow is meat. So if our forefather Jacob was making pottage, it would only make sense he was boiling meat as well. Because once you boil that meat becomes tender. You would not roast that meat. Because if you roast that meat, like he had said earlier about putting olive oil in a pan and browning it on the sides, that meat would not be tender. But if you boil that meat, then it would be tender. Okay? It would be just right for your soup or your stew. For I am faint, therefore was his name called Edom. Verse 31, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Verse 34, then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Okay? And when you see this pottage of lentils, it only makes sense that the lentils was the base. Okay? It was like the core of this stew. Because according to Wikipedia.com, lentil soup, it states lentil soup is a soup based on lentils. Okay, that's the base. All right, it may be vegetarian or include meat, and may use brown, red, yellow, or black lentils with or without the husk. All right, so just because you get to Genesis 25 and 34, that doesn't mean that it was just lentils only. It only makes sense that meat was added to this stew. Okay, Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom.